What is up, y'all? The Rad Picker in the Rad Cave. I am here and I am excited. Some awesome things are in the works and I couldn't be more ecstatic. First of all, the weather is wonderful. Football's right around the corner and you can feel fall in the air. This morning, I believe it was 55. That was the low, which I think is awesome. Some of y'all may hate it. I love it. I love fall. It's my favorite time of year. So it's also the changing of the seasons and also some changes in the Rad Picker, myself's selling. Everything is subject to change in this world and especially in this business. And I've made a switch up. I've been meaning to inquire about my own marketplace on the District app. Well, last night I had a wild hair and I got to tinkering around and I signed up. And I didn't realize it was going to be that fast. Don't mind the moth. Apparently, he's the star of his own show. But anyhow, I got signed up and you could put a launch date in. And I was going to do Wednesday. Today is Tuesday. This was Monday night, late into the night. And I was going to put a launch date of Wednesday and get prepared. And then I really got so excited that I just started. I was like, I'm running a show, which is today, Tuesday. And I ran a clothing show. And I tried to get the word out, TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, Facebook, as much as I can, just to get at least a few people in there. And I was dead set on doing some good giveaways, whether there was one person in there or 100. And I didn't expect a lot of people. I really didn't. But I was pleasantly surprised. I am eternally grateful to the people who came out, who could get in there, who got the messages or whatever, heard the news, and came out. That was a show like I remember. I'll just put it to you that way. When I started on District, I had a lot of fun. And it was always fun, but I got to where I couldn't sell everything. And so I was niched down. But my favorite thing to do is to sell everything. I get really bored really easily. I'm hard to please. One day I want to sell glass and I get bored, and clothing. And I'm not a great toy seller, even though I have some cool toys. I'm not near the toy person like Genesville is, or Pipe Dreamer, or anyone like that, Hamco Finds. By the way, so I don't forget, a big shout out to Hamco Finds. They, I think, made an announcement on the lost toys. I got a message early this morning, I didn't see it till later in the day, and asking me if they would like me to. And I said, sure, and I feel the same way. And I want to make a point about this, because this is the truth. It may sound wonky or a little bit, pretentious, but it's the truth. When I got into reselling, especially when I was doing this YouTube stuff, my goal was to help people. And I know it sounds like, who can you help? But really, because I've told the story before, and let me back up a little bit. I got a lot of advice from people or just comments, and I respect them all. But it's funny, I got a couple that were like, that, that's a lot of work, or it's tough, or this, and I respect that. But I guess what I was getting at is the one advantage I have, and I think it's a blessing, is being to the point where you lose everything. I had that a few years back where I really, bottom of the barrel, get rid of everything. And it was tough. It was a really tough year. And I had worked my way out of it. Luckily, I had, some equity in my house and stuff, was able to get out of that. But it was not easy. It was a long, dark journey. I'll just say that. But having those experiences gives me, I guess you could say, desperation or fearlessness to be unafraid to try something. I've lost jobs before. I've been fired before. I've been blocked. I've been all sorts of stuff in my life, so I don't have any fear of that. So bringing myself back around to wanting to help people, that was my goal, was to just be positive, and anyone who's going through hard times, just be an encouragement. And I don't always do that, trust me. I got I deal with myself every day, and trust me, I'm my own worst enemy. Nobody can offend me like myself, but it's the truth. I just want to be, a light to people and encourage people, and like, I love to have fun. But life is life. People are people, and I'm a people myself, so I can put myself in situations. So there's times it was like, you get in that same old rut and you jump right back in. That's how we are as humans. We tend to return to our vomit, so to speak, just to put it bluntly. But that was my goal. So saying that, Hamco did something that I want to do. Everyone can run their market how they want. It's their business. It's not even a criticism. But for me personally, we always want it our way. And I've been an entrepreneur long enough, my own boss, that I'm pretty stuck in my ways, and hard to listen to too much from someone else. I want to do it myself, make my own calls. But I started this marketplace the same way I'm approaching YouTube or anything else, that I want to help people. I certainly want to help myself. Don't kid yourself. I want to make money. I want to provide for my family. I want to be financially secure. But this may not be, this is just one little piece of my entire, vision and business. There'll be eBay, whatnot, all the other stuff. But I like District. I do because of the people. I made relationships with people through selling, and I wouldn't have those opportunities with those people if there weren't other markets, people that started other marketplaces. And they can operate how they want, and I have much respect for these other marketplaces. But with me personally, I just want to shed some light on how I'm going to run my marketplace. So starting this marketplace on district.net, the Rad's Boutique. I came up with that name pretty quickly because of Paul's Boutique from the Beastie Boys. I was a big Beastie Boys fan, growing up, still am. And Paul's Boutique was perfect to me. It just Rad's Boutique, and it's everything. I was like Rad's Bazaar. I definitely want to sell everything. I want unrestricted sales, as long as it's legal and under the guidelines of District and all that stuff. So we will definitely keep that a priority. I have messed up myself on another platform and sold something that wasn't allowed. It was inhalant medicine. It's a pharmaceutical. And I actually knew when I sold it. It wasn't that much of a surprise. But those are things you need to avoid, and rightfully so. So we will avoid that. But I wanted a place. I don't want to go to 5 different marketplaces. I want to be able to, if you want to sell socks, sell socks. If you want to sell car parts, sell car parts. Whatever it is you want to sell, I want you to be able to sell. Now, that being said, although it's inevitable to have some sort of competition, I do not want to pull as much as possible from anyone that's helped me. Like, the Lost Toys. I don't want to run toy shows or a toy raid train on, Rad's Boutique. I want to support people. I want people to come in and it be a community. People talk about that a lot of times, but it really truly is about people. And you can help each other. There's enough pieces of pie for everyone. The pie is very big. But inevitably there'll be some sort of competitions, and I mean, like, I'm going to be a little bit observant of these other marketplaces that support me when people are running. But there's going to be a time where you're going to have to run. That's just part of business. But I'm going to be mindful of that. That is my goal, to be mindful of that. And another thing is, I hope this marketplace is somewhere where you can promote yourself. And I know a lot of people don't like that. But me personally, this is just my opinion. This is my view of things. I think if you are secure in yourself and you do things the right way, you're certainly going to have pitfalls. I've run into this before, but you can't help but to be successful at some level. Now, what that level is, I don't know. That's how hard you work. But just like me drawing a following, being on someone else's platform, the same thing is going to happen to me. I don't know how big this will get. It's at 27 people right now. We're, 12 hours in or something. maybe it grows exponentially, maybe it stays low, I don't know, but I'm not going to stop promoting it and trying. That's one thing I will do, and promoting the people in it. For instance, if this thing grew, just grew to a couple hundred, whatever the size is, and somebody is gaining followers and they are a great salesperson, and they're promoting even their social media, that doesn't bother me. Now, all things are subject to change. Maybe I run into something that's wonky or something, you never know. I don't want to be a fool, but I really truthfully believe that, just like Hamco Fines said, hey, I support you and I'll announce it on my page, I want to do that exact same thing. That is what people helping people. And eventually you'll always get, if all these channels grow into something crazy, you're going to run into stuff. But at that point, why would you even care? You're successful. You can't get jealous of other people. Whether, let's say somebody's a new seller comes on my platform, they start a YouTube and they get 1,000 followers week one, and I am at 170 followers. I can promise you this, there won't be an ounce of jealousy from Scott Gillis, the rad picker. Not an ounce. I am here to lift people up. Believe it or not, you can take that for what it's worth, but that is really my goal, is to see people succeed. Because if they succeed, I will succeed. That much I know about business. I always had the mindset as a contractor, when I had guys working for me, I paid more than anyone else around, bar none. I don't know anyone that paid more than me, because I believed if my guys went home on Friday and they were making more money, there's nowhere else they could go, and they were happy, they were going to continue to work hard for me to sustain that. And they did for over 7 years, until eventually they went on their own. And you know what? Even though I was taken back a little bit, it didn't take but a few days for me to realize they were just like me. I once worked for someone else and I went on my own. And when you get that, if you're good, you should go on your own. Now, it's not for everybody. There'll always be people who are built to work for other people, and there's nothing wrong with that either. There's nothing wrong with being a loyal employee, but that's why I view this the same way. Nobody can hurt me other than myself, my own ego, my own jealousies, my own envy, my own mouth. Certainly people can do things and have done things, but as long as if my focus is on those things, and it has been, I'm just stopping myself. I'm letting them steal my energy. Everything I say I'm for, and I've allowed that to happen. And that's what I've tried to shift my focus now. No, you have the same vision you had when you stepped into this, and I certainly have learned a lot, but that is my vision, is to just keep going forward, like to have fun. Some of these shows, I was kind of bummed out a few weeks ago because I'm not on a couple platforms, and hey, that's my fault. I'm not going to get into that. But I lost the opportunity to laugh and have fun at least a couple times a week. That was keeping me sane in this reselling world. It really was. And without that, I was doing shows, and look, I'm still going to be on Whatnot, and I'm going to get to Whatnot in a second because that's a different animal. But it's another process of starting over, and it's a little bit different. And some of the sales I don't like. I don't like the put it this way: you can make people make a ton of money, and I'm still going to do Whatnot. I'm going to get to that in a second. But I'll just say it is different, and anything that's change is different. So I'm proud to be back on District and have my own marketplace where I can sell. And also, CW had messaged me, thank you, sir, about, cross rating. So we're definitely going to do that 100%. So Rocket's Pokemart as well, CW Collectibles, been around longer than I have on here, and great salesman. So he does Pokemon stuff. I'm going to push that towards him. Now, I do variety shows. That's why I started this marketplace. So I may sell knives and belt buckles and a toy here and there, and I may run a few packs, rip and ship Pokemon. But if I'm not going to do a Pokemon show, now everything's subject to change, but that is my mindset of, okay, if we're going to help each other out, you know, we have this pool of people, let's help each other out all we can, you know, and if it comes down to you having to make money or whatever, like, I'm not going to be offended if somebody started in everything, the same thing. Like, it's inevitable, especially in the sales. It's like being mad someone else started eBay. You know what I mean? What if your best friend came over to your house every day and hung out, knew you did eBay, and then he goes to eBay? Are you going to be mad at him? No, because it's this gigantic corporation and it doesn't feel personal. Well, now this stuff is smaller and, you know, people get their feelings hurt or you know, somebody asked me the other day, do you think YouTube has helped your sales? And I said, absolutely not. Now, I wish I would have said, well, yes, in some ways it has. Because people have been interested just because they can watch YouTube and it gives a familiarity, easy for me to say, to me. So that may help a little bit. I certainly try to push it when I go to yard sales and stuff. But my being on YouTube, I said, has actually probably hurt me, because if I wasn't on YouTube, I wouldn't have some of the dramas and stuff that happened. But needless to say, we're all in this trying to make a living. So I will never, Lord help me, Lord willing, ever try to take food out of somebody else's mouth or stop them from progress for my own ego. It's just not going to happen. That is my mission statement. So I know that's a little bit too corporate. I'm going to have to go see HR pretty soon, but don't worry, he's a pushover. But that is my goal and my mission, is to really, truthfully, be about people, to help people, to have fun and laugh like we did the night I'll never forget. It may have been Pacific Picker's show. I'm not sure whose show exactly it was, but we were in there and I was at a hotel room. I just had another Whatnot static sell. I'll get to that. But I was at my daughter's AAU game in Louisville, Kentucky, and I went to the lobby, bought me 2 beers from the little store in the hotel, and sat there by myself with my phone charger in and laughed and laughed and laughed. Street Dreams, saying lick it, and gosh, it was a blast. And that is what I miss. That is what keeps you sane, keeps me sane anyways. So that's what I hope we're bringing back, the Rad Rock Show. I have talked to Steven, and you know, he brings the heat. He has better stuff than me 90% of the time. So looking forward to that. I just hope that we have the community we had before, and I have no doubt. I'm not even hoping. I'm excited about that. Today's show went great. Did clothing. I said I was done with clothes, and now I have Life Again, a place to sell clothing. Good bangers. I did have a great giveaways. Gave away a Tom Brady jersey, an American Rag leather coat, a Dukes of Hazzard t-shirt with a button, and a Fear of God Metallica shirt. So we had some great giveaways. I can't keep that up forever, but I do want to do the big giveaways, promote this, just enjoy it. That's what I want to do. Now back to Whatnot. I am not quitting Whatnot. I am going to continue with Whatnot, but if I do, it's going to be very strategic. I got on Vendu last week, which I've mentioned before, and I started cross-listing, and Whatnot is an easy cross-list. I have made sale after sale after sale statically off Whatnot, so I am not leaving Whatnot. They have, so far in this week, several $100s in static sales on Whatnot, so I'm excited. Shout out to new people on TikTok, Hustle Flips. I can't wait to see what he does. We just kind of have a relationship on TikTok, and I like his content, so go follow him, Hustle Flips, the original Hustle Flips. And I noticed he signed up. I've been chatting with him a little bit, and excited for him to see what District's all about and these wild banshees that are in the room. I am looking for radical sellers. If you want to sell, get in there. And as of this moment, I'm about to get on my computer after this. I'm not certain if I approve, or I figured I approve, but maybe it's District. Maybe District approves and they send it to me to approve. I don't know. I got to figure that out. I literally, this is in its infancy. The first live show was me. Thank you, Grammy Lisa, for being the first purchase. Thank you all for being in there. You know who you are. If I start saying everyone's name, I'm going to miss somebody. They'll get their feelings hurt. But I appreciate you all. I really, truly do. It means a lot. It's reassuring. It's energizing. And I hope I pass it on to you. So get on district.net. I'm going to put the link in the comments. Shout out to Alex the Beard King Picker for reminding me of that. He couldn't find the show. He said, put the link. Guys, I am not Captain Technology, so I am learning as I go, but the longer I sit in front of something, the smarter I get. So, and I'll always take advice, but I love y'all. I mean it. District.net, Rad's Boutique, everything you ever wanted. That is the line. Everything you ever wanted. I'm going to be selling Cover King car seat covers. I have 47. These are expensive covers, and I'm going to let them rip one show. So my advice, prep your shows. From the Rad Picker, the most okayest reseller on the planet, the most unorganized, fly by the seat of his pants guy is telling you all, organize your show, take the time to do it. It matters. And even though I might not take my own advice in the near future, my advice is to do that. You will have less problem shipping. You will have pre-bids, and you will be able to list stuff statically easier and all that jazz. But that's all I got for y'all. Again, thank you. I love y'all, man. Go help somebody out. Don't be afraid. We all have egos. We all have feelings. We all are the stars of our own show. But man, if you can help somebody do it, there's a piece of the pie for everybody. Besides, the pie doesn't taste that good anyways. So stay positive, stay picking, stay rad, and come join Rad's Boutique. Till next time, we're out.